Hello everyone, it's Shannon here. In today's video, I am going to do an overview of Waffle Flower Craft's June release. First up is the Spice Garden combo. This comes with the Spice Garden stamp set as well as the Spice Garden matching dies in the back. Next up is the Little Painters combo. This comes with the Little Painters stamp set as well as the Little Painters matching die in the back. Next is the Gym Rat combo. Comes with the Gym Rat stamp set and the Gym Rat matching dies in the back. Next is the Moon and Stars combo. This comes with the Moon and Stars stamp set and the Moon and Stars panel die in the back. Next is a stamp set. This is Arrowhead stamp set, really great stamp set. We have one more combo here. This is the HipHipHooray combo. Comes with the HipHipHooray stamp set and HipHipHooray matching die. We also have two standalone dies. This is the Tiny Painted Heart. And next up we have the Mini Arrow die. Now that we've seen all the products from this release, let's take a closer look at each one individually. First up is the Spice Garden stamp set. This was illustrated by Helen Dardick. There are 3 herbs in this set: sage, basil, and savory, with an accompanying word stamp. This set also has a great variety of pots and planters and some beautiful sentiments as well. I love coloring this set. There's lots of open spaces on the leaves of all the herbs, and I think this is a great set for all of you houseplant lovers out there. Now let's take a closer look at the Spice Garden matching die. As you can see, the Spice Garden matching die has dies for all of the herbs as well as all the pots and even the plant marker as well. And if you can see when I'm pointing out here that these dies for the herbs cut out those enclosed negative spaces as well. So it really is a beautiful die cut once you're done. Now I'd like to share with you a few cards I created with the Spice Garden stamp set and Spice Garden matching die. This card I actually used the Arrowhead stamp set for the border, but all the herbs are watercolored with distress ink and they are from the Spice Garden stamp set. Here's my second card. Here I used that sage herb and actually created kind of a house plant, and again the pattern part is from the Arrowhead stamp set. For my last card, I did a very similar card to the first, but this one has a pop-up or easel fold, which creates a really fun kind of pop-up spice garden for the recipient. And the Arrowhead stamp set that I used for all 3 of these cards for the background is actually part of the June release as well. Next up is the Little Painters stamp set. This was illustrated by Big Bear and Bird. I love the variety of paintbrushes here. This is a great set for all you painters out there. Plus, this set has little critters, which are really fun to kind of pose behind the palette or behind a paintbrush or even behind a tube of paint. A few great sentiments as well in this set. There's a lot of fun cards you can make, especially with some really beautiful backgrounds with this set. Let's take a closer look at the Little Painters matching die. As you can see, the die has a matching die for all of those paintbrushes as well as the tubes of paint and even those little critters. So really fun set and really fun, I think, to pair with some really colorful watercolored or even alcohol ink backgrounds like this card right here. So for this card I made an alcohol inked background, and then I stamped and colored all these paintbrushes and the palette in with my alcohol or Copic markers. And the sentiment is from the Rainbow stamp set, which is from April's release. Next up we have the Gym Rat stamp set. This fantastic set was illustrated by Liz Mytinker, and I just adore this set. I love the 80s feel. I love these little hamsters. They are seriously too cute, and I love their little workout outfits, their leotards, the sweatbands, the leg warmers. Yeah, this is a really great set. And the cage with the treadmill and the other props that you can create some really fun scenes. This is a great set. It even has some great like zigzags and background kind of design images that make it so fun to play with. And the sentiments, we don't sweat, we shine. I mean, they are fantastic. So let's take a closer look at the die as well. So here is the Gym Rat matching die. And as you can see, you have dies for all of those hamsters, die for the cage, even some dies for those lightning bolts, zigzag things, the star, and of course the treadmill and the dumbbell and the boombox, all the other accessories as well. A really fun set to create some really cute scenes. I'd like to share with you some of the cards that I created with the Gym Rat stamp set and Gym Rat matching die. This card, I made a little step aerobics class with the boombox and this awesome sentiment, "We don't sweat, we shine." This one, I put one of the hamsters in the hamster wheel, and for the last one, I stacked them all up with the sentiment, "You lift me up." And all the backgrounds were created with some tone-on-tone stamping with the design stamps in the Gym Rat stamp set. For this next card, I created a really fun interactive card. This is a shaker slider card, and I've got the hamster inside his hamster ball here with "You Go Girl." I think there are so many interactive cards that you can create with this awesome Gym Rat stamp set. Moving right along, let's take a look at the Moon and Stars stamp set. This stamp set has some wonderful sentiments, great for many different occasions, and pairs perfectly with the Moon and Stars panel die, which I'll show you just in a second. Let's take a look at some of these sentiments. "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, you don't know how loved you are." Isn't that sweet? Perfect for welcoming a new baby, and especially if you don't know the gender of the baby, these are unisex sentiments. And I love how they could work for encouragement cards, for graduation cards, just "I love you" cards. There's just so many wonderful cards you can make with this sentiment set. This set also comes with some great little accent images, including an arrow and a moon, which works perfectly for the sentiment, "Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." It's just one of my favorite sentiments of all time. And now we have the Moon and Stars panel die, and let's take a closer look at this. It is a wonderful panel die, great for making shaker cards. I love how this die gives you the perfect spot for stamping your sentiment. I also think the mini arrow die would make a great companion with this combo set, the Moon and Stars combo set, which is the Moon and Stars stamp set and the Moon and Stars panel die. And I'll show you a card here in just a second where I use that mini arrow die as well. First up is this shaker card that I created, the Moon and Stars stamp set and the Moon and Stars panel die. As you can see, I used the stars from the Moon and Stars panel die, and I adhere them to the top and the bottom of my shaker card. I stamped my sentiment right in the center, and this has a wonderful welcome baby theme, nice and colorful and bright. Here's the second card I created. This is definitely more of a graduation or just an encouragement card. I ink blended the background with some beautiful midnight blues and used some gold paper as well. And you can see that arrow, how it works perfectly with the Moon and Stars panel die as well, that mini arrow die. Now let's take a look at the Arrowhead stamp set. I love this stamp set. I am a sucker for any background stamp sets. I just think they're so fun. I love to play with background stamps. I just wanted to show you the triangle here. There's just a lot of different patterns you can make with the stamps in this set. I just used that triple triangle one there to create a border for that Spice Garden card. I used the 3 large stamps in the center here for several of the backgrounds of the cards that I showed you today, and even a couple more cards that I'll show you here in just a second. But there's just a lot of fun techniques you can use with this background stamp set. I also think it works well with the mini arrow die, which I just showed you for the last card, and the new the tiny painted heart die, which is free with all orders completed by June 7th. Now here's a couple cards that I created with the Arrowhead stamp set. Here I layered that largest stamp from that stamp set to create a really fun colorful background. All the inks are from Waffle Flower as well, and that sentiment is from the Moon and Stars stamp set as well. And for my last card using the Arrowhead stamp set, I basically created a rainbow using that large stamp from the Arrowhead stamp set again, and then I made a 3D element with the tiny painted heart die and the mini arrow die for the center. Last but certainly not least is the HipHipHooray stamp set. This was also illustrated by Liz Meitinger. It also has that exercising 80s theme, but this time it is hippos and they have hula hoops, which is fantastic. There are some great sentiments with this set. HipHipHooray, let's celebrate your birthday and you still got it. You can also get a matching die for this set. This is the HipHipHooray matching die. And I have a card I'd like to share with you. So here's the card that I created. As you can see, I stamped those hippos twice, so I have 4 of them, and I used the "You Still Got It" sentiment. I did a little ink blending at the top and bottom and Copic colored the images. Now I'm just going to kind of toss out here all the cards that I created for Waffle Flower's June release. I hope you guys enjoyed this close-up look of all the products from Waffle Flower's release, as well as some samples showing the product in action. If you want any more information on the products I use, please visit waffleflower.com. And I also want to remind you that you can get the tiny painted heart die for free if you complete your order by June 7th. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.